system detected. Take it.
Right, hello folks. ReZDuck, are you ready to go?
I am.
Okay, in that case we are going to deafen you in the chat and we'll see
All
you
right.
on the other side. Good luck.
See you then.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. All right. First one's down here. Or is that in the back room?
Okay, so he's off. This is
That's
our first well done free meat run. How do you think this is going to go then, Spanners?
I'm excited to see how it's going to go. From what I've been able to learn practicing, it's pretty easy to get all the gear you want except for ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I think how the end of this run is going to go is going to depend all on the encryption spawns and the ammo rolls.
Override token
Yes.
found.
The biggest difference we see in, or at least I expect to see in these runs, is the starting weapon. Which can either be the revolver or the 9mm USP match.
Analyzing system.
Now, whichever you prefer is up to personal preference, I think. There are things to like about each gun. The revolver smacks hard, the match has the glow sights and a larger magazine. But it is definitely wielding the revolver. Just waiting for the associates to come and then the encryptions to pop. I was going to say it's good that he's waiting in the middle where he can see everything.
Indeed.
And then he moved to the side and waited a bit. He did move back towards the middle, but there was a bit of movement to go to get to the encryption nodes there.
Analyzing system.
I imagine some people, who will remain nameless at this point, will be a lot quicker at taking those out.
Well, that's where the encryption spawns are really going to come into play. If you have the USP match and you get a good spawn, you can take these very quickly. If you have something closer to this, you can still do it fast, but it's a lot harder.
Yep, and the match is very easy to aim with the glow sights, whereas you can lose the iron sights on the revolver.
You can lose the iron sights on the revolver, although it does have a much longer sight radius, so it's easier to be precise.
That is correct.
If you need
yes.
to make a long shot.
Data extracted.
I would say we're looking so far so good on this run.
Nice little bit of spinning there.
Take it.
The revolver being much better at taking down bread crab zombies.
Indeed. That's going to be the main difference between the revolver and the USP match, is the revolver, as you said before, is going to hit a lot harder. But the USP, I think, will be more useful in dealing with encryptions quickly.
Yeah, I mean, even with plus P or plus P API, it takes, what, 4 or 5 shots to take down those bread crabs. You can do it in 1 or maybe 2 or at an outside 3 shots with the revolver.
Absolutely.
But 1 or 2 is the usual. And I just like the spinning.
The spinning is a lot more fun. You got to get some style points for that.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not much about style. But I do enjoy seeing it.
Yep, it's a lot of fun.
So I wonder if he's looking for the match right now.
No. Okay. Oh well.
I would be looking for the match right now. It doesn't look like he's having much luck for it, though.
I don't know if he was going for the match or if he was looking for another weapon. But it's not until the third take phase you get access to the other weapons, so...
Yep. You'll see the MP7 and the shotgun both in the next take phase, and then the AR3 for the fourth one, I believe.
That is correct, yes. Well, you do have the crossbow as an option, but I'm not expecting many people to run with it. It's not exactly... It's a fun weapon, it's not necessarily a good weapon. And it's struggling a bit one-handed there with the revolver. The kick being a bit too much for the accurate shots. You really do want your second hand to steady the shots there. and just take a
You do.
little bit more time.
That's one place where the USP would have really come in handy for him, or even one of the Saucy Gun MP7s.
Yes. With the revolver, slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Yep. Eebster from the chat says that the SPAS with swag ammo on this character is amazing, and I agree. It is very tasty. I believe this is the first character we're running where you can get the explosive rounds for the shotgun.
That is true. I actually prefer not to use them. I tend to hurt myself too much.
I've been getting pretty lucky using it so far, but if you are right next to it, you can one-shot yourself.
Just give me slugs, cliches, or some nice buckshot. I'm happy with that. Sean in the chat has said that as a lefty, he always prefers the USP over the revolver. And yeah, the fact that most revolvers are swinging out to the left-hand side does indeed make them easier to use with right-handed people than left.
That was a nice bonk right there. But unfortunately a little slow. Yes, as far as revolvers, you know, honestly, I've gotten used to using the right-handed revolvers so much that whenever I get the, I think it's the R8, that's the lefty one, I always have so much trouble loading it. Fortunately, we are seeing the black bread crabs.
A lot of them? Okay.
I don't know what the debuff that the poison head crabs do is.
I believe you take increased damage.
Increased damage? Okay.
I mean, those bread crabs don't deal a lot of damage themselves, but they can one-hit you if they stay attached for too long.
Yes, you need
As
to
I
make
found
sure
out
you
in my
stay clear of
practice.
them. And
And
there's
there's the MP7.
Now we need AP or API.
I mean, for this next hold, I would actually stay away from the AP or the API. Oh, he's opting to go for a different site on it. Okay. You know, I'd have probably just kept the points. It's small, but the one that it comes with is perfectly functional.
It works well enough. For this hold, I agree that you might not want API right away, but it's definitely a good idea to start trying to roll for it.
Oh, definitely.
You only have a couple more takes before you're locked in.
Oh, you definitely want to roll, but just keep that full metal jacket on hand. If you roll the hollow points or the incendiary rounds, even better. But the armor-piercing rounds, either AP or API, just tend to go through without damaging the Zosigs just a bit too much.
Yeah, as the points for it, which he does, rolling the shotgun could also be a good idea, because for this hold especially, if you can get the explosive shells, which he
Like
did.
he has.
Which one are these, frags or high
Yep,
explosives?
those are the HEs.
Those absolutely
And those
rip
are the frags.
apart the bread crab sausages.
They really do.
Okay. There we go.
Although, once again, personally, I prefer to have just your standard buckshot.
The buckshot
slugs.
is a lot more utilitarian. The explosive shells are really only good for attacking sausages, not encryptions. And I'm not sure which is more powerful between the frag and the HE.
And I got just a fungi. Okay.
The frag, I don't know which is more powerful per se, but the frag is like almost an armor-piercing round.
If it's an armor-piercing round...
Sorry,
then
not the
that
frag,
would
the
be-
HE rather. The HE is more like a mini heat round than anything else.
That would make it more useful against the armored sausages you'll see later if you don't have
Yes.
the right MP7 rounds.
It would, yes. It deals with armor very nicely. The fragmentation rounds are more like an explosive shotgun round.
It's opting to use the explosive rounds for the statics.
I would probably have just gone back to the MP7 for those. It just
Take a
puts
little
so many
bit of,
bullets. It just puts so many bullets downrange that you get your volume of fire that way a lot easier.
There is a lot to be said for accuracy by volume. Now this is where using a shotgun, as we can see right there, really comes in handy with the explosive shells. Absolutely tearing up those bread crab zombies.
I found this to be an interesting hold in that the zombies can sometimes the enemies can sometimes seem to get stuck, and you can spend some long periods waiting for them to go into the hold.
Indeed. They do seem to get stuck on corners sometimes. I don't know if that has to do with their perception or just getting lost along the way.
I mean, this is a hold where enemies can go the long way around to get to you.
Yes. Although luckily with the fast ones here, they don't take all that much longer to run all the way around just because
No.
they're so quick.
That's correct, yes.
This could be one where having buckshot would come in handy because I think we're about to see hardened encryptions.
We are, and that buckshot is definitely my choice for dealing with those. Or flechettes.
You have to be really precise with the MP7 to hit that core.
He struggled a bit on the first one, but his second and third were nice and clean.
Analyzing system.
Struggling to hit that Zosig a bit there. But when he does, the frags are dealing with it rather nicely.
Oh, got a little close right there. I don't think he took any damage from that though.
No, just close enough to stun.
Nice little bit of dual wielding action.
And dealing with the two Zosigs together quite nicely there with the swag rounds.
Okay, was not expecting that.
I'm not sure what happened there.
He had dropped swag rounds on the floor, and he ignited them by hitting them, I believe. And that last hardens wrap.
That was a nice clear.
It was a very good clear. He's setting a very, very good score right now.
5 override tokens found. Advance to next system and take it.
So next up is hold 4.
Yep, that's going to take place in J hallway, I believe.
It is. And he'll have access to the AR3 in addition to previous weapons we've already seen.
Yes. So he's definitely going to want to try
Honestly,
and roll more ammunition.
Override token
The
found.
revolver has sadly outlived its usefulness by now.
We didn't see it get used, but it's actually a very good weapon for hold 3, the revolver. Hollow points deal so much damage to flesh, it's very effective against the Zosigs.
If you don't have anything else more effective, yep, that would be pretty good.
God, I really need AP.
Or
Yep,
if
and we're already starting to run into trouble with the armored enemies.
oh, here's hoping he gets something useful right now.
No kidding.
If he'd kept the HE rounds for his shotgun, because I believe both pockets are full of the frag.
I believe they
Um,
are.
If he'd kept that would have been effective against them.
Override token
But let's see
found.
what he gets here.
Let's see what we get. We got the jumping grenade
Tracer. It's
and
a
some tracers.
decent
Is it
replacement for
jumping
now,
grenade?
I guess.
I thought that's
Yes.
just the standard grenade.
Those are the what, corners.
You know, I always get them backwards. I'm pretty sure that's the jumping one, but I could be wrong.
I don't know that there's a jumping grenade for this grenade
There
launcher.
definitely is.
I definitely know what it looks like for the
Yeah, there
US
corner grenades.
grenades.
Okay.
Yep, there's a jumping grenade for this one as well. There definitely is.
Okay.
I think what he has now is the jumping one, but I could be wrong on that. I always have to double check.
We'll have to check afterwards. I think that's just the plain HE or HE frag.
I think that's the jumping one.
Either way, it doesn't matter too much. It's an explosive grenade as opposed to the previous one he had, which was the flash.
Which he's opting to use right now to stun. I don't know, that could be the direct impact, although it looks like they're jumping a little bit.
Whew, that Sosic took quite a bit of a beating there.
What's the jumping one? Someone in chat asks. That would be one of the grenades where when you shoot it, it doesn't explode immediately when it hits something. And it jumps up into the air a little bit to get an air burst effect.
I know that the US 40mm airburst is more cylindrical in shape, with less of a dome on
It
top.
has a much more flat nose.
Okay.
I got extra points.
Oh, I can't
Either-
even get that on.
You can get it on. It does visually clip into the grenade launcher. However, it does not affect operation.
Here we go.
At this point, though, I think he would be quite well off buying that AR3.
That's great.
It has an awkward reload.
Yeah,
However, it will deal with armored enemies quite nicely.
Without any other kind of AP, the AR3 is your only shot.
Analyzing system.
This is going to be the last hold where the MP7 is going to be really effective without AP ammunition.
Mm-hmm. That was a good hardened. Are you having audio issues as well, or is it just me?
I definitely am.
Okay, that's on his end then.
It's on his end. We saw one of the sausage grenades there. One positive aspect about Free Me is that the sausages don't get stealth grenades like have playing other runners in the past.
You know they're coming for you. The downside is that they use more of them.
I have noticed that they seem to be a lot quicker to toss grenades in this, especially in this particular hole.
Advancing to next system lane.
Which is great
Analyzing
until you get a grenade to go off and throw another one right into your face as it goes off.
I have had that happen.
It certainly makes it more interesting. That was a pretty good static clear he did just now, though. The first two were right next to him. They were down quickly. Took a bit of a time sighting up the third one, however.
Yep. That's one of the reasons I really don't like J Hallway is that all too often you get your encryption clouds at opposite ends of the hallway that you can't all get from one spot.
Yep. The triangular support pieces can block line of sight, even if you can see down the hallway. which can just be very awkward.
There's the hardness coming up. A little bit of trouble on that first one. Needed to stop and reload.
And once again, it's found the corner. There we go, it's done.
That was a little slower. Lost a little bit of time, but not too much.
Hold successful. Data extracted.
That's gonna
5 override
This is
tokens.
going to be a good starting score.
Advance to
A
next
good
I
score for
believe
people
it is.
to look to beat.
It feels like 230 to 235 right now. Although free meat scoring is a lot different from the scoring that we're used to.
I'm not quite familiar with the scoring ranges at the moment.
Right now, anywhere between 230 and 235 feels like a really solid score.
Okay, those six all down.
There we go.
Unscrewing his suppressor slightly so it
suppressor
doesn't
won't
clip
fly
into
up and
the
down, but I can still load grenades easy.
into the grenade launcher.
That is just a visual thing. The grenade launcher can fire just fine without unscrewing the silencer.
And there's the first of the white armored sausages, the most heavily armored enemies that we're going to see here.
He really does need some sort of AP here, otherwise he's going to be in trouble.
He's going to be in big trouble.
He's an AR3, armor piercing, or API. That grenade will help,
Banking shot. Oh my god, they were banking shots.
but those white Sosigs can eat grenade shots to the face.
Unless he was there.
They
I've
can.
seen it.
It takes a couple of grenades to take them out.
And you really don't want to be facing that in hold 4. Hold 5 even.
Unfortunate ricochet on the grenade there.
Okay, that one's down. I can't help but feel he'd be better off just evading at this point.
Yep. Although that shotgun with the frag rounds does seem to be reasonably effective at knocking him down.
I mean, the MP7 can knock them down just fine. The problem is actually killing them.
Part of the trouble with the white armored sausages is that even the Sausagun AR3 isn't able to penetrate the armor. So he can't even stock up on Sausagans before getting into the hold.
Now, I've not verified, but someone's told me that the AR3 itself actually only does blunt damage.
It does mostly blunt damage, but it can penetrate the armor, but only barely. I've found. It does tend to ricochet off a lot.
There's a grenade there. One thing I do like about those grenades is that because they're obvious, you can pick them up and throw them back.
Yep. Yep, that's definitely something I've done. Alright, we're at the final ammo station.
Override
And let's
tokens.
see if ReZDuck gets lucky or not. Nope.
FMJ.
That's FMJ.
This is gonna be harder.
So
He needs
he
that
needs
AR3.
to go roll an AR3 now. Spam mines are also effective. They can instantly splatter the heavily armored sausages, but that's also a big risk to yourself.
Yes. You can turn yourself into just as much jelly. Don't go for the laser.
You need to roll. for
Really
an
need the
buddy.
AR3.
Another shotgun.
He gets the just look
Oh,
out.
never
Oh,
mind.
gets
He got
flechettes.
flechettes. He's completely swapping out the explosive rounds in favor of flechettes. I don't
Honestly,
blame him.
actually wasn't even thinking about the RNG of running flechettes at this point.
Honestly, me neither.
It's always better to go for the sure thing. The AR3 can kill the white dudes. Go for the. You got the points. Roll for the AR3.
I think he might still have enough points to try rolling for the AR3.
He
although
does.
The shotgun is going to be a lot easier to reload.
The plus side of the AR3 is you only have to reload it between waves.
Yes, Johnny Moore, Freemate is based on the famous fictional character Morgan Freeman from Half-Life. Morgan Freeman is my favorite fictional character.
Okay, it looks like he's happy with the flechettes at least.
Whatever. Hold on.
You know, actually, having one shotgun with buckshot in and one with flechettes would not be bad.
That would be some pretty good utility for the last bits of encryption here. You just roll the laser sight instead of the AR3. That's going to be an interesting choice.
There we go.
I mean, that's not a bad choice. You can. I wouldn't recommend it in real life, but you can treat that version of the Spaz like a giant pistol.
It is basically a big pistol.
And the laser can help a lot with that. So it's not a bad choice to do so. But I would have either flechettes or buckshot in there personally at this point.
Although, as we see, even flechettes are not that effective against the white armor.
No, this is going to be a struggle.
Now, the first couple of waves of this, you're only going to see one of them at a time, but the last wave, you'll have 3 white armored Sausage at a time.
Analyzing system.
So we're in it, and let's see what happens. You know, I think the flechettes aren't penetrating that at all. I think most of that is hitting the gaps between the links.
It's possible. I've seen limited amounts of bleeding. Although that did look like that last blast went straight through the face. He is bleeding from the helmet there.
That was
Good
pretty
static
easy
clear.
Encryption neutral.
Difficult round.
Advancing to next system layer.
So the flechettes do go through the excuse me. The flechettes do go through that helmet. They're just not as effective as they are on most normal Sosig armor.
Definitely not. I did a little bit of experimenting in the proving round, looking to see if the helmets had any weak spots, and as far as I can see, it doesn't really look like it.
No, they're tough all the way around. Even the non-white enemies have very tough armor, including on the back of their heads.
Oh,
Taking some hits there. Need to switch to your other shotgun.
And the frag rounds made actually pretty good work of those hardens.
Advancing to next system
It's lucky that he had the frag rounds in there instead of the HEs, because I'm pretty sure the explosive ones, the high explosive ones, would not have popped in targets.
No, they have no effect at all on encryptions.
Now we're seeing 3 at a time. How is he doing on health? It might be a good idea to pop his health.
He's got
some-
most of his health.
No, he's got most of his health. I thought he took a few hits in there, but obviously not as many as I thought.
so there's one in there, and there. Okay.
And for our final set of encryptions, we're going to see a set of 3 swarm encryptions.
We are indeed. And they're going to be coming up probably after this next wave. There we go.
There we are. Switching to the MP7 real quick.
And
we're
it's
done.
done.
Oh.
The first free meat run ever done on First Worst.
data extracted.
And a 234, not bad at all.
And you're back in the room. How do you feel?
I am.
Returning to interface.
Could have gotten a lot better ammo rolls, but other than that, okay.
Yeah, we did notice you didn't get any armor piercing.
No, other than the flechette, of course.
Mhm.
That really saved you for the final hold, though.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have been able to do it without the flechette, honestly.
We did notice you didn't roll for the AR3.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit too cumbersome to reload quickly for that
Yeah, it
for
is
the holds.
cumbersome, but it does also penetrate. Well, do deal quite a good amount of damage to those white armored dudes. So, what's your favorite? What's your favorite weapon for this character?
There's so many
The
to choose
Spas
from.
12 with
Spaz
the stock.
with the stock, yeah.
With the stock is
The stock feels so much better. Although I do miss the continue rails. So where do you think you did well, and where do you think you could have done better in that run, given the RNG?
uh there's a few waves that I feel like I could have done a bit better,
hmm
like speed wise. Um
Any in particular that come to mind, or just you think you could have done a bit better across the board?
yeah, no, just across the board I could have done a little bit better.
hmm Are there any questions from the chat for ReZDuck here? Um, Cessna has said congratulations on the score.
Thank you.
I mean, at the moment you're winning in this phase.
You have the best score so far.
Am I the first run?
You are, yes.
I do have a question for you. How did you like running free meat compared to the other characters we've done so far, like Ori and Zeke?
So far I think I've surprisingly liked Zeke a little bit more,
hmm
but this is definitely a fun run to do, other than that final hold.
Okay. Joni in chat has asked why free meat, why not another character? Well, the answer to that is each round we're doing a different character which has been picked at random. So
Yes.
our first phase was Ori, and then we went on from there with different characters each phase. This is now phase. This is now phase 4, isn't it? The
Yep.
Yeah,
We're on
stream
phase
info is
4
slightly
of
wrong.
6.
We're on phase 4, not phase 3.
So yeah,
Oh,
Ori
there we go.
was the first character, and that was picked specifically, and all the others have been chosen at random.
hmm So we've done Ori, a Zeke zombie hunter, on-site procurement, Patrice, and now well done free meat. Okay then. Well, if there's nothing else to comment on about the run, or no questions from chat, that will be it for this run. We are of course on phase 4. Our next run is coming up in around about 4 hours, and that's you, Spanners.
Yep.
So I'll be looking forward to that. That's happening at 10:30 UTC. Feel free to translate that into your own time zones. I look forward to seeing everyone there. I'll be in the chat most likely. I won't be commentating on that one. It's a little bit on the late side for me, so thank you very much, ReZDuck, for the run. It's a good start to this phase, a good target for everyone else to beat, or attempt to beat. Don't know how other people's runs are going to go. Very well done, considering you didn't roll the armor-piercing ammo there.
yeah.
And yeah, everyone watching, we shall see you later. I look forward to seeing you again.
Ooh.
Right, so it's goodbye from me, and no, not gonna bite. Good. So, Baldrick and Spanner signing off. Thank you again to ReZDuck. Cheerio.
Toodaloo.